no, I'm not saying that black folks don't like meat. I'm just saying that I have known for decades black vegetarians,
Okay.
right? And black people, tons of people who come from islands, they eat meat and stuff, but they like the idea of like black people eating healthy and stuff is not something again that's ever been marketed the right way towards black people, but black people do it all the time. And I think that it's like it's one of those things where I don't think it's whitewashing of it, but I think that there's a way in which it's marketed as a lifestyle that is only really for certain people, right? When this was the argument when I was doing the yoga thing, they had pictures of me and they put them all over the place. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like my
You
friends
were
would
their
go to the
token.
right, they would go to the ashram and there'd be like pictures of me doing yoga, and people like, dude, you're like famous. I saw you. I went to this famous place and I saw your picture, and I was like, oh, that's just ridiculous. But it's like because that was one of the arguments that people have been making is that like yoga, eating healthy, and things are there's tons of that in the black community, always has been, but it's like kept like as a secret, and so the idea of black people being vegan and being able to be used in the same way as it's much like with the producers like who make scary movies who are black. It's like, well, there's so few of them, but there's not so few of them. That's the thing. There's a perception that there's so few, but I know a half dozen black yoga studio owners who've been doing it for 20 plus years. I know tons of black vegetarians who've been vegetarian like since they were teenagers. You know what I mean? And there's never a light shined on these people for some reason. Like it's seen as like there's no community for it, and there's a huge community for it. And that's the thing. So I think that the argument that they're making is based in that. I read the article and I was like, well, some of the stuff is like part of it again is like okay, I get it. But to go back to that other thing, is this the most important thing in the room? Right? Or now that people are bringing light to it, let's all just join forces and come together and have a movement of healthy eating for all communities, right? Like, is it like now that there is acceptance, is it really important for us to talk about the ways in which there wasn't yesterday if there is today? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know the answer to that. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, you
I
know?
do, and this is going to sound like a joke, but I don't mean it as a joke.
Hmm.
Do black vegans and vegetarians and people that do yoga really want a light shined on them? Because some of the most insufferable people to society's eyes are the white vegans and yogas and vegetarians. I mean, they're fucking
and
annoying. That's
and
why Whole
and
Foods gets
CrossFit people.
picked on, right? I mean, I have a vegan friend. I can tell you two stories. I have a vegan friend. I have a vegan acquaintance. I'll start with that one. Who I did a vegan joke. I made a vegan joke, and then a year later, I tagged that one vegan joke with an like, oh, it became an AV, and I posted it on Facebook. He said, "Man, all you do is bully vegans." And I'm like, that's an interesting thing. Like, I have at the time, I had 5 1-hour comedy CDs out. That's 5 hours, and in that 5 hours, less than 2 minutes was on veganism, and it was like, that's all you talk about. It's like, well, that's your perception, since that's what you wanted. But I thought that was interesting. And first of all, bullying vegans, actually use that word. You're bullying oh, fuck off. And then the guy that inspired the first joke was a friend who inspired the first vegan joke by being insufferable. Like I
Right?
remember bouncing a joke off him about goodwill, and he went immediately into, well, goodwill keeps us out of the big corporations and supporting name brands and keeps clothes out of landfills. I'm like, oh my fucking god! All I wanted to do was tell you a joke, and you went off on this preachy save the world shit. I mean,
Oh,
do black people want to be a part of that community? Don't you think they want to
but
live in hiding? Again, I'm not trying to be funny. If I was a black vegan, I'd keep it to myself.